We'd like to close the show tonight with the very first #1 song from the Jackson 5. Released in 1969, here's I Want You Back.
I don't know that song. Sorry.
You might know when you hear it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please direct your attention to the west end zone again and welcome your Maysville Panther Marching Band. Tonight, they are joined by the Maysville Alumni Band. A special thanks to Miss Carrie Gibson for coordinating the Alumni Band this year. The band is being led on the field by mother-daughter field commander tandem, so without further delay, make some noise for the Panther Band, past and present. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome the Maysville High School cheerleaders under the direction of Miss Amanda Merlot. Tonight, they're going to be joined by the Maysville Alumni cheerleaders. The Alumni cheerleaders have been coordinated by Miss Madison Wolf. Let's get this started with a classic. Here is Land of 1,000 Dances. All right, Panther fans, put your hands together. Let's recognize some folks. Everyone on the field and track who graduated from Maysville in the 2020s, wave to be recognized. How about the 2010s? $2,000s. How about the 90s? If you graduated in the 80s, raise your hand and wave. How about the 70s? How about anybody in the stands in the stadium who's graduated from Maysville at any time? Please stand and be recognized at this time. Let's continue the party now. Here is the Beach Boys Smash It, Barbara Ann. close tonight's performance with a performance of the Hay Song.
Get to their post quicker.
That stuff scared me.
The band will be performing their contest show in its entirety next week. Full props and all. Come out and check it out. How about one more round of applause for your Maysville Marching Band and alumni and cheerleaders.
For watching the halftime show presented by CA House Music. Play music for life. Hank Hoffman with Doug Clifford here at the MAC, the Maysville Athletic Complex. Halftime score here, West Muskingum 35, Maysville nothing. An MVL showdown of rival schools in a crossover matchup, division, small school versus big school. It's been all small school here in the first half after the first 6 minutes or so of the first quarter. The main reason, Doug, as we know, is Rashid Cisse went bananas in that half where he scored 4 times, 2 receiving touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. Carter Winland capped the scoring for the 5th touchdown. It's West Muskingum looking to go to 5-1. They're well on their way.
They're definitely well on their way. The only thing that's going to be running faster than Cisse here in the second half is going to be the clock.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Speaking of other scores around the area and a 35-0 lead that we have, John Glenn also leading 35-0 at the half over the improving Meadowbrook Colts. Meadowbrook will be a playoff team and 4-1 going into that game. John Glenn as well, 4-1. It's all Muskies all the time tonight. Tri-Valley at Morgan. Scotty's lead in the second quarter to shootout, 35-20. Sheridan blowing out Riverview 42-0. Black Bears are winless. Sheridan's undefeated. Philo 18, Crooksville nothing. So your Ceramics taking on the chin maybe for a 3rd straight week. New Lex Coshocton, a game that we switched from for this one here tonight. New Lex 6, Coshocton 0 down, and New Lex in a tight one. And Zanesville getting blanked by Licking Valley 14-0. So some of those scores surprise you or not so much there, Doug?
Well, you know, it's that time of the year where teams see the writing on the wall. They're going to have a good team or not, and some teams kind of pack it in. And right now we're seeing a week where there's a lot of good teams playing teams that aren't very good.
And so the opening kickoff of the second half will take a touch back through the end zone. No return for Cisse or the Tornadoes. West End will have the ball first. Running clock, already 30-plus seconds gone by, so we'll go fast as a wink. You can deal with Fink. I can already do the ads there. You go blindly, Doug. As the second half moves right along with a 35-0 lead for the Natives.
Well, you know, I think people would really be impressed with you, Hank, if they realized you had all those ads completely memorized.
We will complete the Fink's Harley-Davidson ad. Live to ride, ride to live, Fink's quality cars and RVs, quick as a wink. Deal with Fink. There you go. And Fink's easy leasing and rental. Second half here. More to throw at you later on. I'm sure we're going to have to throw those in very quickly unless things turn around for Maysville. Here's a fake. Anton fires downfield, the 40-yard line, incomplete. Flags fly late from the guys in the zebra stripes.
Well, what we're going to have here is a pass interference on Maysville. Looks like number 7, Wesley Armstead. He reached out with his left hand and knocked the ball down, but his right hand was on the back of the receiver, and that's going to draw the flag every time.
And so that'll be an automatic first down for West Muskingum as they try to scoot right along down the field. There's your indication.
15-yard penalty. The result, first down.
Well, the PA guy, that PA speaker's got to tone down the steroids on that PA machine, buddy. Woo, baby.
Got some pipes, no doubt about it there, my friend.
I think everybody south of Crooksville knows that there's a pass interference call on that one.
2 minutes gone by here in the third quarter as we are underway in a moving clock third with a 30-plus point lead at 35-0. Anton will get it out of the gun, hands off Winland. Winland, huge hole, 40-45, spins down at the 48, gets a dozen, nearly 13 yards on that play. Winland continues to impress. He had 100 yards last week on the ground, 19-yard touchdown run in the first half, and continuing to scoot towards the century mark here tonight.
I mean, he's that running back that brings the lunch pail to work. I mean, he is a workhorse, and I think he's going to see a lot of action here in the second half. Good running back.
Carter Winland, just a junior for these 4-1 Tornadoes coming into tonight's action. Anton fakes to him. Anton now flushed. He's going to run, and he's going to go down for a loss, so it'll go in the books as a sack for the Panther defense.
Nice job that time by Carson Hurdle to come up, make the stop, throw the quarterback for a loss.
3-yard loss, in fact, back to the 45-yard line. Second down and long. Again, clock still moving away. As West End won last year's meeting in a tight one, 14-7. Not so much here tonight because Rashid Cisse, going back to the first half, had 4 touchdowns. He had a 59-yard touchdown reception in the first quarter. It was only 7-0 after one, and then West End put up 28 second quarter points to open things up. Speaking of Cisse, he will get it. And there he goes, like a flash at a pan, out past the 50 to the 46 nearly of Maysville.
Boy, he hit that crease in a hurry, didn't he? Wow.
other scoring from Cisse in the first half. 62-yard run on a 4th down and 1 or in the second quarter, early in the second. That helped open things up to 14-0. Cisse added a 5-yard run to make it 21-0, and then he did it again with a pass reception from Anton, 64 yards out to make it 28-0. So 4 touchdowns Cisse. Cisse has 20 on the year, and that's counting when he had none against Garaway in a loss.
Well, what you want to see if you're Coach Clark is you want to see your kids not giving up.
Quick pass. Anton found his man for a first down, out past the marker to the 39-yard line. And you're right, but Coach Clark's team taking it on the chin here, the opening possession to the Tornadoes in the second half.
Well, you know, people might question why is Coach Brownrigg throwing the football here with a 35-point lead. Well, he's going to be in the game this year where they need to throw the football to win. And this is when you work on it. Practice on the practice field is nothing compared to Friday night under the lights.
Like they say. Practice makes perfect.
That's exactly right.
And you're right, there's going to be a lot more action ahead. Playoffs down the road. Yep, we said playoffs. West Muskingum ranked 2nd in Division 5, Region 19. Here we go, Anton passing downfield. Caught it in stride. I think he caught it, or did he not? He juggled it. It was a catch, but not going to count with a juggle.
The referee was right on top of it. Good call.
On that reception downfield, looked like Wes Houston, number 9. We got the gold numeral on the reception for now.
You know, I thought the ball should have been thrown maybe a couple steps sooner, but, you know, he's a right-hander running to his left. You got to turn those hips and turn those shoulders and get that throw, and just that little extra time to do that, put that receiver right on the sideline.
2nd and 10. With the catch that wasn't meant to be with a juggle. And here's Anton. And again, he's crafty with those moves as he moves those hips out to the 33 with those legs.
You know, I think that's a predetermined run all the way. Picked up those yards, broke a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Picked up 6 or 7 yards. Made it a 3rd down a lot more doable here. Of course, it's 4-down territory. We're not going to see any punts from the 33, that's for sure.
Very manageable. 6 yards it was. 6 minutes and counting left to go, 3rd quarter. Running clock again. It's over a 30-point lead, which this is at 35-0. We have Anton not taking the snap here. He's going to line up as a receiver to the right because Cisse is going to get the direct snap, and he's going to hand this one off this time. So it will be Winland on the call near the 30. Going to be about 4th and a yard needed.
The offensive line got a good push that time. He's pushed the blue jerseys back. Winland come up a yard short. Send in the big guys for short yardage.
And same thing goes on the other side for the Maysville defensive line. A 76 and 78 trot in rather late, and Colton DeMolt is one of those. Here we go. Cisse, direct snap, 4th and 1. And he's going to follow his blockers to the right, and he's got it. So they held him this time, you could say, to only 3 yards, but it was enough for the first down.
Well, you know, we've seen him make some huge plays tonight, catching the ball, running the ball, long runs. But he's that back, get that, you know, that first down yardage too, those tough yards. He's not afraid to run up in there and put the shoulder down.
And that he did when his team needed on 4th and 1. Got 3 to the 28 of Maysville. Opening drive, 3rd quarter, West Muskingum taking the entire clock and basically the entire length of the field with it. As Cisse waits again, direct snap as the quarterback. He will run to the right. Somehow shakes off one tackler at the angles and somehow gets double digits on this. It continues to power his way inside the 10. Will he go down finally to the 6? He nearly took guys with him off on his back.
You know, that might be his best run of the night. I mean, his touchdown runs, he hasn't been touched. That time he had blue jerseys hanging all over him, and he just did not stop churning those legs. We're down in that territory now where West Muskingum employs that shift at their line and overloads to one side as if they do it now.
A Herculean type run for Cisse to get to the 5 for 23. 1st and goal at the 5. Cisse expect his number to be called. Speaking of 5, will he get his 5th touchdown? He's going to fake, and he's going to go forward inside the 2 and touchdown there, short of the 1. And so the Tornadoes threatening to go over 40 points yet again this year.
That's just snap the ball, and here we come.
West Muskingum has gone over 40 in the opener. They're trying to do it again tonight. Easily does it to Cisse. He now has a handful of touchdowns tonight. That's 5, and it's 41-0 Tornadoes.
Boy, the Panther defensive player looked like a corner or an outside linebacker. He came up, and he had a shot at Cisse, and he took his best shot, and he came up with nothing. I mean, that's a tall task to bring Cisse down in the open field like that when you're the only guy out there.
3 minutes exactly left to go in our third quarter. 9 minutes off the clock to get the touchdown. Capped off by Cisse's run from a couple yards out. 5th of the night, 3rd on the ground, 2 receiving. Extra point good. At 42-0 as Kuhn continues his successful night kicking the football as well on PAT 6 for 6.
And this is the first time here in the second half that the clock has been stopped by the referee crew. It's 2:48 left in the third quarter. 42-0 right now.
Team that averages like 30 points coming in have blown past that as they go over the 40-point mark here at 42-0. And you know, if you're the Maysville Panthers and Craig Clark, you're going to try to see if you can get yourselves going to go into week 7 next week. But it's not going to be easy for the Maysville Panthers when you look ahead to their schedule furthermore, and we'll do that here momentarily as they have a gauntlet. And you look ahead, they got John Glenn next week, Sheridan in 2 weeks, Philo to wrap up the season. Only Riverview looks like the winnable game that they're favored on October 13th. Not going to be easy for Coach Clark's team to make a run at the playoffs. This was a big game tonight, and they have not shown up to play and stop Cisse. Teeing it up, Kuhn and the Nados, a short kick, field at the 25. And the Panthers will take it out for about 10 to 11 yards near the 36. And that's where they'll set up shop. First time on offense here in the half. 2:29 left to go in the third quarter. Gives us a chance while they flip offense and defense. Foxfire Schools, free public alternative education serving students grades K through 12. Community Bank is now the perfect time to join the Go Local movement. By banking locally with the Community Bank, Kokona's Furniture Mattress First, always make it easier for you to furnish your home. And South 60 Films, of course, the new home for NBL football, streaming games each and every Friday this season. Sheridan at Philo next week. Look ahead to that. Want to remind you of that one. Should be a pretty good one down in Duncan Falls, we would expect. Right here with 2:13 to go. Panthers will come to the line of scrimmage with the wing T backs back there. Fake, passing, and it's caught just over the defender. Nice snag at the 41, down the sidelines, past midfield, 45-40, and bang down low, deep in West End territory. So the Panthers come out with a quick hitter to the right.
That's their best play of the night, no doubt about it. Tackle that time by Braxton Brownrigg. He'd missed that tackle. It might have been a long bus ride home.
So you're looking at a play that goes for 27 yards, Doug, out in the flat. Nearly intercepted, but a perfect touch pass to the receiver.
By far the best play of the night for the Panthers.
The receiver was Hurdle, one of the wing backs. As mentioned, in the backfield is one of the other ones, and Saxton. Saxton, they won't go to him. They go back to, instead, number 7, Armstead. Armstead will take it 3 yards forward and then met with resistance at the 35.
Well, I would like to see these guys.
As we have a 2nd down and 7 coming here, and surprise visitor up at the press box. Hey?
Well, you know, that's the guy I Wally pipped.
Hey, you did, huh?
Todd Rock stepped aside. And his coaching duties increased at Rosecrans, and they had to go out and find somebody. And yeah,
what a great find it turned out to be too.
He opened the door for me.
Oh yeah. Catch here on 2nd down is a short one for the Maysville offense. It'll be 3rd down and manageable near the 33. It looks like Coach Rock wants something.
Well, I tell you what, not only is Coach Rock an outstanding basketball coach, a premier announcer.
Oh, yeah.
He's quite the accomplished bass fisherman as well.
So you got competition.
Oh, buddy. I don't even want to get close to that. He's tough.
3rd down and 5. Speaking of tough, Maysville's got to get 5 tough yards against this tough defense, looking for a 2nd straight shutout in West End. Under center is Harper. Hands it off to the back. And nowhere. Tornadoes greeting for a loss on the play.
Well, I think they were expecting that play. They were waiting for that. It went nowhere. That defensive line for West End, I mean, they're tough. They're a tough bunch. They're playing a 4-man front tonight for the most part. Good linebackers behind them. We're going to have a fourth down here. See if we get a first down for the Panthers. I'd like to see these guys get this first down and take it down to the end zone and put up a touchdown. Get that goose egg off the scoreboard. But right now.
Yeah, and not only that, we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter.
Yes.
That was the last play of the quarter.
Oh, my gosh, that's right. And this is 7 consecutive quarters without a score now for the West End defense.
Kudos to them. They'll try to pitch the shutout. We'll step aside for a short break. You're immersed in the NVL Game of the Week, presented by Community Bank. Back here at the MAC, Maysville Athletic Complex on homecoming. Not been a good one for the home Maysville Panthers. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Panthers. Not 4th down as we start the fourth quarter, and an incomplete pass to number 4 over there on the side. With Doug Clifford, I'm handcuffed. That could be a part of our Friday night. And unfortunately, a running clock and a blowout night here tonight.
Yes, it is. And even with a 42-point lead, the Tornadoes are still executing defense the way they were taught. Their outside pass rush man contains the quarterback, strings the play out, doesn't give the quarterback the corner where he can run or pass. And that's good coaching. I like to see that. Game is easily won, and they're still doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Panthers going to go for it on 4th down. This time they're in West End territory. Needs 7. Got to get near the 28. Passing quickly and incomplete. His guy flashed open on the out route, but it wasn't there, and they'll turn over on downs yet again tonight.
I think that ball was delivered well before the receiver even turned.
Intended receiver for the Panthers was Caleb Monlocks, the 5'7 junior. As it fell harmlessly incomplete to the turf. Clock still moving again. Running clock, 30-plus point lead, which this obviously is at a 42-point spread.
Well, now the question is, how long does Coach Brownrigg play his first-string offensive players?
And that's a good question. And that will be answered here shortly as you watch, like we all do, who's coming out on the field. And at this point, I don't see Cisse out there. They have called him off already.
It's not Anton at quarterback either.
And we had the snap him before Windley could get the carry. He remains in there. We have whistles and a potential flag. Let's see.
Delay game.
It is a delay game. Yep.
5-yard penalty.
First time we've seen a delay game here tonight. Clock at 10:05 left to go. Sheridan at Philo next week. Look forward to seeing the Generals and the Electrics. Had a chance to see it last week. Got shut out by these Tornadoes 21-0. See if they can right themselves. They'll try to do it at home in Duncan Falls against the ever so tough #1 ranked Sheridan Generals in D4 Region 15. Here's a run, left side, big hole. Explosive run by the back there for the Tornadoes.
Well, that's the guy that took Anton's spot at quarterback. You see the number, Hank? Is it?
Their whistles on the play, stopping action up to the 40-yard line, and I'm trying to get that digit right with you.
Looks like one of the offensive linemen, number 77 for West End, has tweaked an ankle or something. He's limping off the field. That's why they stopped the clock.
If I'm not mistaken, Doug, obviously some relation here. I believe that was 15, sophomore Braxton Brownrigg.
I thought it was 15 too as well.
Yep, he's in there, quarterback here in the fourth. Good to see. The Tornadoes do some mop-up work here in the fourth quarter and get some experience going. Both sides, actually.
Well, that's one of the complaints I've heard from coaches, that with the running clock, you don't have much time to play your backup kids on Friday night. And, they practice all week too, and they should have an opportunity to play a little bit longer than this. But right now in Ohio, it's running clock with a 30-point lead.
Brownrigg rumbling around the left side near that first down stick, far side of the field. Maybe short, depends upon the spot, but showing again the athleticism in that bloodline with that name.
No doubt about it. And I think he looked like he was going to throw that ball at that left wing. He may be a little lefty.
You know, talk about the last name Brownrigg now in at quarterback here, and Coach Nate Brownrigg in his 4th year, 21-16 overall. Just keeps getting better and better after a 2-8 first season. Made the playoffs last year, first playoff win ever in school history. More on that here in a moment as they'll hand it off on 3rd and short. Easy first down run over into Maysville territory past midfield, just short of the 45. But, you know, Brownrigg, former player, you know, alum. You also had him playing at, we were talking about this at halftime, both come from the OAC. I graduated Muskingum in 2000. I'm not going to mention the year. I don't even know necessarily, and you probably don't want to say. Graduate at Wilmington, you're going back for homecoming tomorrow night. They're now part of the OAC.
Well, light bulbs had just come in style.
That gives us some idea.
By my senior year, we could put the lanterns away.
What I was getting at, Marietta College grad in Coach Brownrigg in 2001. And, yeah, you also just put that in perspective, even more so than not.
Okay, timeout. Timeout, West End.
46-yard line is where West End will have the football with a new set of downs after that impressive run on 3rd and short.
It looks like young players for both teams are on the field right now, Hank. And there's a lot of substitutes out there for Maysville as well.
You know, talked about the Maysville schedule and how daunting that looks up ahead. Aside from the Riverview matchup on October 13th, that's the only game they're going to be favored in when you look at it for the Panthers of Maysville. So trying to reach the postseason, let alone getting back to 500 or winning a record, is going to be quite the challenge, to say the least, for Coach Craig Clark. West End, they're at home against Crooksville next week, your old boys, and now the Ceramics appear to be sliding a little bit. At Morgan the following week, at Coshocton on October 13th, and the finale at home against Meadowbrook. Again, all winnable games. Talk about that with Ted last week. Probably mentioned it with you, if I recall, 2 weeks ago, that they could run the table.
Well, they could see Meadowbrook twice. They could see him in the 10th week, and then they could see him in the playoffs.
Right here, just trying to complete the task and get out of here healthy and maybe get another shutout win as they'll run the football forward for a couple of the 44 or so. Under 7.5 ticks to go. And, yeah, West Muskingum, that schedule extremely favorable. You know, they beat Lakewood in the opener by 20. Lakewood's 2-3 coming into tonight. Marietta, we saw. Marietta having a good year so far.
They're 3-2.
3-2, and that's a team that hasn't had a winning year, I recall, in over 20 years. Garraway is undefeated, so that's obviously an excellent loss for their only defeat. And then New Lex 2-3, and, of course, a big win over Philo last week, who stands at 4-1. 2nd down, 8. There's Brownrigg running, right side, cuts in, gets about 3 tough yards to the 41-yard line. Good to see Braxton running.
You know, Hank, you know, it's a blowout game, 42-0. But I thought both teams played disciplined games. The Hankies didn't come out tonight very often. I think we had a delay of game penalty on the getting the pups lined up.
I'm here.
And so, you know.
Had to throw that one in.
There you go.
But you're right. You're right. Down on the field, the penalties. Here we go. 3rd down, about 5. Brownrigg, flush, rolling left, sacked. He goes down near the 49. One of the best plays for the Maysville defense here tonight as this game has gone on. It's been all downhill. That was a good one.
Yes, it was. See if I can get this guy's number. 20. Turn around, son. Let me see that number. Maybe number 28, maybe. Jace Daniels.
And if that's so, a freshman at that. Getting the sack. 4th down. 12 now needed for the Tornadoes. 5:42. Clock moving. They'll punt. It's been a rare thing after the first couple series when they punted on their first couple possessions. Booting it away. Anton out there. Hey, you may have pulled me off the field on offense, but I'll kick it on special teams. And there's flags flying as it was fielded off the bounce at the 11 for a short run back near the 15.
Well, you know, I mentioned Joe Daniels, my former quarterback coach, and now the assistant superintendent here, who does such a great job. And I met one of his sons, who's a senior soccer player. And Jace Daniels, you know, if that's Joe's son, then he's already, with that one tackle, he's ahead of his father's career total right there.
Had a feeling that was coming.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Joe was a good quarterback in Philo. He was an outstanding quarterback. I don't think he made many tackles.
But as he might say, well, that's why I play quarterback.
There you go.
Wow. Just saying.
Joe did a great job for us at Crooksville. He was on my staff the entire time I was a head coach there. And I was blessed with great assistant coaches, and he was definitely one of them.
Penalty goes back on Maysville here as we flip down onto the field. They'll have it at their own 5-yard line. So when you think matters can't get any worse, they do. For the Panthers here to start this possession. Run play left side, not much, only a yard to the 6. As we get a call, a few extra names out there, new names tonight.
Cade Rock. At quarterback right now, number 17.
Last name very familiar here already tonight, isn't it?
Yes.
Obviously.
I hope he's not gunning for my job. Never know. Could be.
Well, he was.
Family may hold a grudge on me here.
He snuck up behind us, made sure his presence was felt, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Never know. 2nd and 9 for this Maysville offense, pinned at their own 6-yard line after the 1-yard run. You mentioned Rock in, under center, hands it off. They'll continue to run this wing T offense with a new set of backs and players out there for a short gain out of bounds. Running that one was number 5, Landon Iden. Called his name earlier once on a return. And he'll take that one up for another yard. So it's 3 feet and a cloud of turf and a big loss coming up for Maysville on back-to-back plays. 3 feet means 3rd and 8.
Under 4 minutes right now. 3rd down and a bunch, Hank.
Maysville's got to get it out to the 15-yard line. So they dial a pass up here and open up the playbook. With the backups in, no, they won't. They're going to run, but it's a nice run and a first down run over there. Getting knocked out of bounds by a pair of tornadoes low.
Outstanding play. Good run that time. Looks like number 31 carrying the ball, Alex Ray, sophomore.
5'7" and 185 pounds listed, and he looks the part.
Yes, he does.
Nice run there. Very tough running for that first down. Near 3 minutes now left to go. 1st and 10 Panthers at the 17. It was a 10-yard gain there for Ray. As he will remain in the backfield behind Rock. Under center.
Here's Rock's first pass attempt.
He's going to look downfield. He's going to chuck it deep.
Going for it all.
He's wide
He's got
open,
it.
Doug, and he missed him. That's not on Rock, I don't think. But then again, it was about 2 yards in front of the receiver. Good look.
Outstanding poise by the young quarterback. Kept his poise, got his feet set on the rollout pass, and he delivered a rope to his right wide receiver to just off his outstretched fingers.
Looked like he wanted newcomer and youngster, a sophomore in Llewellyn downfield who streaked open.
I tell you, a play like that for a young player, had that been completed, that goes a long way in a young man's development. I mean, his game just jumps immediately.
That confidence level would start to build already. So sophomore to sophomore, they couldn't make the connection. You know, they've had plenty of practice time to do so. Here's a great run up the middle off the handoff from Rock out to 40, 45, and thrown down there is Iden, short of midfield. His biggest run possibly of his young career.
Another sophomore on that Maysville Panther squad. That was the inside counter. He came from the position of where they're in that little right wing position and cut back. That was right up the gut, right up the middle of the line of scrimmage. Well blocked, he hit the seam, and I thought he may go.
31 yards later, though, he does have the Panthers on the move, even though he couldn't get a touchdown on it. And they go back to him, short side of the field. Not helpful as he got knocked out of bounds at the 50, if that.
Nice job that time. It looks like number 26 for West Ham. Nope, 28. Jace Daniels.
There's that name again. In fact, no gain for Iden where they marked him on the short side of the field when he got bumped out.
Strung that play out wide to the outside. Did not let the running back turn upfield.
Final minute, Doug. Can't believe your return is going to be such a quick one with me tonight, but it is. Here we go. Rock handing off. Llewellyn Right side with this carry on the counter. Gets over on the other side of the field to the 47 of West End.
If they still play reserve games on Saturday morning, these guys will line up against each other tomorrow morning, bright and early, at West M's field.
Gain goes for 5 yards. Third down, 30 seconds to go. Could be your final play and probably will be your final play, barring an incompleted pass.
It's not going to stop on an incompleted pass.
And even then, you're right. Get that in mind. It won't. Just put that in the bank. Here we go. Probably last play of the night, and it's a run near the sticks. Out to about the 42. Final 10 seconds will run off the clock, and Maysville's going to get shut out here tonight. West Muskingum will blank their opponent yet again. 2 straight weeks they do it, ruining homecoming for these Maysville Panthers here at the Maysville Athletic Complex. Your final count was 42-0. A 28-point second quarter and a 35-point lead at the half helped the Tornadoes cruise past these Panthers.
Well, they dominated this game with big plays in the first half. A couple of short field opportunities when Coach Clark opted to go for it on 4th and 1 or 2.
Ooh.
And deep in his own territory, and West Muskingum obliged him by sealing the deal.
Yeah, it was only 14-0 at that time. You're referring to in the second quarter when a 4th down and 2 was tried deep in their own territory for Coach Clark and the Maysville Panthers. It backfired. He tried to gain some momentum. West End was starting to grab it already as they scored 2 straight times to get that lead, and then it backfired, and they went 24 yards later. Cisse capped yet another outstanding night with a touchdown. It was 21-0 before you knew it. And the rest was history here tonight. Final 42-0. Cisse goes for 5 touchdowns, 4 in the first half, 3 on the ground, 2 receiving. Carter Winland, can't forget him, got to throw him in there, had the other touchdown late in the second quarter for the other score.
Carter's a tough running back, no doubt about it.
So 42-0 your final count here. As the West Muskingum Tornadoes will make it 3 straight wins on the season. They'll go to 5-1. The Maysville Panthers in defeat are going to fall to 2-4 here, Doug. And, it's just one of those times where the Tornadoes are just the better team than the Panthers were, whether it's tonight, maybe just in this 2023 season. The records are a true indication of that.
Well, Coach Brunrig mentioned in the pregame they wanted to clean some things up, not miss scoring opportunities, not make no turnovers in the red zone. I think he can check off just about every box. He's going to have to invent some new boxes if he wants to critique this team, because right now they played a near perfect game.
It really did, and it started from the outset. Anton, 59 yards to Cisse late in the first. That was only with 1:37 left to go in the first quarter, and we had points after both teams had multiple punts in that opening quarter. And then it stayed that way until the second, and then it was all West Muskingum with those 28 points, 4 touchdowns, 3 by Cisse in a row. Winland then with that late 19-yard touchdown run right before the half basically sealed the fate in the running clock, and the rest is history in the second half. 1 more TD to boot by Cisse in the third quarter.
Well, it's back to the practice field, and for the Maysville Panthers and for the West Muskingum Tornadoes, it's just another step in the direction, and accomplish the things they have set on their wall, I'm sure. League championship, playoff appearance.
So, Doug, here on our Game of the Week, or MVL Game of the Week, presented by Community Bank. 42-0 was the final score. We'll do a final wrap on things. We'll step aside for a short timeout and how the Tornadoes continue to impress here in the 2023 season.
Sure.
So now we're going to maybe go here with the highlights, I think. That's all right. We'll do a quick recap. I know the light behind me came on. It might have been an indication we should have turned.
Yeah, I was going to. No. Looks like he's going. I kept waiting for it to come on. I thought, what's this? Okay.
Better late than never.
I mean, you think I'm going to look at the highlights on that little postage stamp screen up there? I'm not even going to bother looking at that thing. I had to get my quadruple bifocals going, man. Give me Christmas.
How many?
I'm going to burn you on this when you come back, buddy.
Oh, you have to say Cisse.
Okay, I have my binoculars now. Hank, I think I can see Russia.
We'll talk.
look-
We'll talk over the highlights that you can't see. Maybe I can if I see it up there. I don't have quadruple whatever those were. Bifocals, trifocals, quadruple focals. Sure. Oh, there you go. MVL Game of the Week, presented by Community Bank here at the Maysville Athletic Complex, also known as the MAC. Victorious win for the visiting West Muskingum Tornadoes handily, 42-0. We just wrapped it up a few moments ago. Wanted to come back on to show you some of the highlights, if you will, and a lot of these highlights, besides the defenses early on, Doug, was Rashid Ceesay for the Tornadoes with those 5 total touchdowns on the night.
He was a highlight film tonight by himself.
I mean, you're talking, he got it going late in the first quarter. It was a 59-yard touchdown reception he had from Jake Anton, one of 2 receiving touchdowns tonight for Ceesay, besides 3 rushing touchdowns.
Not only he gets better every week, but their whole team gets better every week. I'm very impressed with these Tornadoes.
28 points in the second quarter for the Tornadoes, opened things up as they went up 35-0 at the half. Ceesay would add a 62-yard touchdown run. He also had a 64-yard reception from Anton. So he had 3 plays over 59 yards for scores tonight, besides a couple of short ones that he always seems to do each and every week, 2 and 5 yards out.
Well, the one run was a 4th-and-1 situation, and he broke the line of scrimmage, and there wasn't anybody deeper than 2 yards, and that was it. It was over.
That was a key play for sure at that juncture of the game and to help West Muskingum catapult themselves into the victory column. Carter Winland added a 19-yard touchdown run on the night, so somebody other than Ceesay did find pay dirt. Second week in a row for Winland. Another good night rushing the football for him as they bring that Thunder Lightning pack.
Well, it's like I said earlier, Winland would be the star of the team as a running back, were it not for his teammate.
So, yeah, you see all the highlights here tonight, and Ceesay went bonkers. A handful, 5 touchdowns. Again, the Winland touchdown, 42-0. We had the running clock in the second half, first time we faced that all year. Hopefully for better results and a better game next week in the end when we have Sheridan at Philo. But your thoughts tonight as West End goes to 5-1 and Maysville slips to 2-4 as we run down the final month of the regular season.
Well, this is the time of year when you have an idea where your team's headed. And West Muskingum they're going up.
They're on the up and up.
And the Maysville Panthers, like you said, that their remaining schedule looks very daunting. So they're going to be struggling.
West Muskingum could run the table, win the rest of their games. Their schedule looks very favorable. They'll be favored in each and every game the rest of the way in the final 4 weeks, unlike the Maysville Panthers if they're looking to try to get back on track starting next week. Well, Doug, it's been a pleasure having you back once again. Glad to have you back safely, by the way.
Well, I came back through Maryland. And when you go on the interstate through Maryland, you're either going 61 or 97. It's 61 up the hill and 97 down the hill. And so you make good time half the time.
Well, that makes sense. Law of averages falls right somewhere in between, one would think, unless you got pedal to the metal. Anyway, Doug, appreciate it all, everybody, for tuning in on this Friday night. Your MVO Game of the Week presented by Community Bank went the way the West Muskingum Tornadoes, 42-0. They do it again, 2 straight shutouts as they take care of homecoming night from the Maysville Panthers. We'll see you next week. Sheridan at Philo is scheduled, so we think, down at Duncan Falls.
Can't wait. Show me